Well, you're not seeing my face, but you're seeing me as I walk back into my classroom for one last time. I'm entitling this vlog slash slideshow presentation, I'm calling it my quote-unquote, my last lesson. And it is my last lesson to my 6th graders and to my last year's 6th graders who are now 7th graders as you both begin to move into your future as 7th graders and 8th graders respectively. I felt like I should do kind of one last video blog slash podcast to close out the year. And so I'm titling this The Last Lesson because it's the last time I'll really be able to speak long form to you. I'll still talk to you and hang out with you and come catch your games, but this is kind of me closing out our school year one last time. My name is Mr. Delay, and class, for the last time, is now in session. So the idea of a last lesson, and as you're listening to this, you're going to be seeing pictures of my last year and this year's classroom kind of playing across the screen. You're also going to see later in the slideshow sunrises and sunsets, pictures that I took from the building from various points. And these are my memories of Fort Morgan Middle School. I obviously couldn't put student pictures in my slideshow. That would violate privacy and the law. If I would, I could, but I couldn't. So my next best thing is to show you my room and show you what my classroom and my building looked like for the last 2 years of my first 2 years of teaching in the 6th grade literacy. My last lesson to you is one that I taught to both of my classes, both of my groups, both of the years. And it was those 4 words: kindness, compassion, grace, and mercy. But I would add a 5th word in there, and that word is love. Something I'll freely admit to you. I will freely admit to you my first batch of 6th graders, my OGs, and I'll also freely admit to my second group, is that I wasn't as good as I could have been at saying, I love you. And the love that I have for my students is the love of their creativity, the love of their crazy, smart, intelligent thought processes and ideas. It's my love of them showing up every day and finding a way to be excited about something we were doing, but also just loving the fact that they exist and to let them know that they are loved, that I loved seeing them every day. And while we may not have agreed every single day on every single thing, there wasn't a condition, and there isn't a condition to this love. The love is unconditional. It is, you have it no matter what happens. I don't judge you for the things that have come before or the things you've done or any of those things. I look at you as a full and complete human being who deserves to be accepted, who deserves to be encouraged, who deserves to be taught, who deserves to be mentored, who deserves to be encouraged, who deserves to be acknowledged, who deserves to be accepted, and who deserves to be loved by the various adults in their lives. And so that's why I would add that 5th word in those 4 words that I taught about 250 of you in the last 2 years. Kindness, compassion, grace, and mercy are huge, and I wasn't the greatest at practicing all the time, but I kept trying every day to get better at it. And that 5th one is the one I want this to be that last lesson on. Kind of that last bit of, hey, you've got 7th grade, you've got 8th grade, you've got your future. You are good enough. You are worth it. And you are worthy of all the opportunities and the things and the places you'll be. We had a thing with my first group of kids where girls were always saying, oh, I'm a potato, and just like, oh, I'm stupid. Love includes loving yourself. And the danger in that negative self-talk is that, oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, we're just joking with each other. Well, there's a funny thing about your brain is that you say things enough, even if you're kidding, subconsciously, your brain starts to believe it. Oh, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not cool enough. Substitute any of the different words that you would probably put in there as 6th, 7th, and 8th, and even high school kids, is that we convince ourselves that we're not good enough. We convince ourselves that we're not worth it. You are. And so the idea of we should love one another, there's plenty of songs you can Google about how important love is. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. I mean, so much of our musical, lyrical adventures are tied up in that word. But I think we sometimes forget about turning that word on ourselves. Loving ourselves for who we are, the weird, the wonderful, the wacky, the eccentric, which means to be a little weird and wacky. I qualify as eccentric. I have my weird hobbies. I love to do video blogs. I love to do writing. I love to create things. I love to be nerdy about things. I love to be geeky about things. Those things I love about myself. In middle school, I struggled with that. It wasn't easy to love yourself when everyone else says, oh, you're just a nerd, oh, you're a geek, and they make you feel bad for being yourself. You should never feel bad about being yourself. Unless, obviously, it's hurting somebody else, and that's a whole nother ballgame. But at its base, you should never feel guilty or ashamed about being yourself. You are valued, and you are important, and you matter, and your voice matters, and your creativity matters, and the things that you have to say matter. When we talk about love, we talk about loving one another, and you should love one another. You should be kind, compassionate, graceful, and merciful to each other. But you should also love yourself for who you are, and never be afraid to be who you are, and never let anyone else tell you that you're not smart enough, or that being smart isn't cool. I have news. Being smart is really cool. I know plenty of people who are wicked smart, and they are some of the coolest people alive. Don't let anyone tell you what it takes to be cool, what it takes to be awesome, what it takes to be accepted, what it takes. If someone else is telling you how to live your life so that you can get something from life, they're not worth your time. Love yourself. Love who you are. And love what you have the greatest potential to become as you go forward in life. Thus endeth the last lesson. Kindness, compassion, grace, and mercy, and love. 5 things. Live them in your life, live them with others, and I guarantee you, they won't be able to stop you. Until next time, when I see you either in a classroom, a hallway, or on the street, my name is Mr. DeLay. Stay safe, stay healthy, and know that you are fully and completely loved.